Continuing on, Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 4. Draw me out. The maiden says this. In light of the first three verses, I'm not going to go back over that. You can look at the previous videos. Verse 4, now she says, draw me after you and let us run together. And then many translations say something to the effect of, the king has brought me into his chambers. But there's plenty of scholarship and views of how to properly translate it that say an equally good and I believe more meaningful translation is, O King, bring me into your chambers. See, when love awakens and we're touched out of the intimate place of our affections, the partnership with God begins to stir inside of us in a meaningful way. This is reflected in the love of a man and a woman, right? It's the dynamic that happened in the garden. It's why Adam couldn't do it alone. It's why Eve was the suitable and fitting and necessary part of the divine image of God coming together and being expressed in humanity. One couldn't do it, the other couldn't do it, only the two of them together could do it. And there has to be a process by which the two halves recognize each other. The one half turns to the other, and it's Jerry Maguire, you complete me. There is a recognition, not in the broken sense where a person is so broken that they're looking for someone else to fill what only healing and wholeness and the Lord alone can fill. I'm not talking about brokenness begetting brokenness, though we all are in some measure. But I'm talking about in the best sense, in the original sense. Adam looked at Eve and said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. And the Lord said of that union, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. So there is a completeness in the heart of God that when he said, let us make man in our image, so male and female he created them, he ordained humanity to be such that each gender, male and female, would turn to one another and in the appropriate days, in the appropriate timing, in the appropriate mechanism, love would spring forth. Love would be awakened. That's what we see here. Love is awakened. There is an intimate exchange of understanding one another that grows at a heart level. And out of that, there is now a crossing a threshold to a partnership. We actually want to do life together. We want to be committed to one another. Draw me after you and let us run together. This is just one of the sweet, there's so many sweet and tender moments, but this is the turning of the heart of the beloved to the lover in such a way that she's starting to say, I want more than just touches of love. I want more than just reminders and affection. I actually want to be in your world. I want to be with you. I don't want any more going out on dates and then you drop me off and, kiss and say goodnight and you go your way and I go my way. I'm looking for a life together, a partnership, a divine joining. This is the divine romance. It doesn't get any better than this because this is Christ and his bride. And the bride, awakened with love, naturally turns to the Lord at some point and says, draw me after you, let us run together. And that is why I believe the other translation is best, because some people have a hard time with how frank and honestly erotic the book of the Song of Solomon is. And it's like, how does this fit? Are they dating? Are they courting? Are they engaged? Are they married? I believe that's why that translation matters, because she hasn't actually gone into the king's chamber yet. This isn't the honeymoon. She may be imagining it. And she's thinking, I've crossed some lines in my heart in terms of how much I love you. I want to be with you. Oh, King, would you bring me into your chamber? Could we have that kind of life? Could we have that kind of intimacy? Could we have that kind of connection? This is Ephesians 3, I believe 19, that you would be filled with the filled with the knowledge of the love of God, right? That was Paul's prayer, that we would be swept up into the knowledge of the love of God so that we could experience the fullness of God. It's actually only the beloved that gets to understand Christ in these ways. This is union with Christ. This is the two become one. This is deeper and more profound, more intimate, more vulnerable, more beautiful, more necessary on the way of God to understand that He desires humans to have measures of unity with Him that go far beyond what we think. But if we will let love awaken. See, right now we're in task mode. We are concubines. We're in the mode of thinking that our job is to serve God, obey God, be good disciples, and all of that is related to kind of a masculine, give me a job, I'll get it done. Just tell me what to do, I'll do it. We don't mind serving. We don't mind even obeying. We don't mind being faithful. And those are our model of discipleship. Song of Solomon invites us to heart surrender that causes something to stir inside of us to realize He actually wants a different kind of life. That's what the wine and the anointing and the kiss and the song are all about. And in light of that, what do? What's our response? Draw me after you and let us run together. O King, take me even to the place of the most profound and intimate connection with your Spirit, where you are inside, filling, expressing your life, touching the deepest parts of me. I don't want any part of me closed to His touch. And He is patient enough that He is not going to force Himself in any way apart from my invitation. This is how it should be. And this is why the scenario this lays out, such a beautiful picture of how a man should treat a woman. There is that pursuit in the natural that a man brings to a woman's heart, and the unfolding response of her recognizing, I am valued, I am cherished, I'm adored, I'm safe. I can go forward with this man. Well, this man can be trusted above all. God, I'm asking that you would just cause us to awaken to where this is going. You want a life. You are betrothed to us. You have committed and vowed yourself to us forever. The new covenant cannot be broken. You are ever faithful as a bridegroom to a bride, and we want to love you as you deserve. Amen. See you next.